Welcome to the Kortex Media Podcast, Marketing Accelerator, your compass for navigating the dynamic world of marketing and business growth. I'm Korson Schmidt, founder of Kortex Media. Our mission is to equip marketing agencies with the custom growth solutions they need to unlock massive revenue increases and scale their business. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today, we're joined by a true original in the world of creator economy, Nicola Bortali, Vice President of Sales for the Influencer Marketing Factory. She brings over 15 years of experience, starting with a background in communications. Nicola is one of the OGs on the commercial and strategy side of the influencer marketing world, having scaled rapidly in the corporate world, including a pivotal role at L'Oreal. 8 years ago, the Influencer Marketing Factory was founded with a clear vision, and today they work with some of the biggest companies in the world, helping brands master platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Nicola, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Korson.
No worries. I'm excited to get into this one and pick up some of your expertise, Nicola. So do you mind telling us kind of who the Influencer Marketing Factory is? What are your core services? What do you guys offer to your brands, the influencers, and the whole circle?
Absolutely. So, in the agency, and you said it right, we do everything that is creator economy related. We've been, as IMF now is 8, going to their 9th year, which again doesn't seem much, but in the influencer marketing world, it's quite a lot. And right now, our offer really span across many different things depending on what our clients and brands want. From the normal traditional influencer marketing campaigns, so supporting in sourcing, contracting, briefing creators, have them post, measuring impact on the business from top of the funnel to low funnel. But we do so much more. We also do media buy amplification on social, so amplify further through paid media content. We do also work with social commerce, so all the TikTok shop excitement that you've been hearing. We've been doing this for a few years. Social media management, we handle content libraries, and the community management of our clients. Gifting campaigns, creator studies. We're actually one of the only agency, as far as I know, to market research towards creators, right? Both quantitative and qualitative. And then we do have a boutique talent representation department where we, exclusively represent around 30-ish talents within the United States. The agency is US-based, but we do cover 70% of the world. And I oversee teams across North America, of course, but also Europe, Southeast Asia, South America, you name it, we got.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great description. It seems like you have everything very solidified inside of your brain with the experience that you do have, Nicola. Now,
that's what I do every day, way more than 8 hours a day.
That's amazing. It just means you're passionate. You love what you're doing. You love what you're doing every day. You show up and you continue on. Now, I want to hear more about your process, because every business, every individual has their own process on how they get their client to their specific result. And I love hearing these different stories and how people do it, because we are all unique and we all have a unique business, right? So, I mean, especially with the influencer marketing world, you don't hear a ton about it. It is somewhat new at the end of the day compared to a lot of the other types of marketing out there. So do you mind taking us through a quick case study on how you guys have helped a specific client reach their goal, or maybe an influencer reach their goal as well?
Of course. And I would take a step back first on how it works. You're right. Compared to maybe other marketing techniques and ways to promote your product, service, brand, whatever, influencer is fairly new. But whether we like it or not, it's something that everyone wants to do right now because it actually works. Mm-hmm. And again, I've been doing this for over a decade, and trust me, my job has become easier by the minute. Way more than 10 years ago, tried to sell, why should I pay this blonde girl Instagram account something? Right now, it's different. And also the knowledge about our vertical is definitely evolving, right? But what I see all the time is, first, we need to assess a couple of things. How much the potential client that we're having knows about influencer marketing and dynamics. Because again, it's still fairly new. And so and we're very blessed as an agency, we receive the inbound every day. So we can pick and choose the brands we want to support. But the first thing we do is to hop on a discovery call right away. Our forms are pretty thorough, but it's always good to have a pulse understanding their needs. And based on what their needs are and how specific they are, we already know whether we know what's going on, we just need a partner that is in the field that can help us execute, or sometimes is as high level as I don't know anything. I've never done it, but I heard it works. Can you walk me through it? So if in the first instance, it's very easy. We usually have an RFP, so request for proposal, or a brief that we can go by and we need to quote it and add strategy on top. If it's the latter, where the point of contact of the brand doesn't know what they want, but they want to do it, that's when we start greeting them with a lot of questions. Just because it's an agency, at least that's how we do it. And I can tell you we're one of the few doing this compared to maybe others. We're extremely strategic. We need to understand exactly what is their ultimate goal. Is it awareness, so top of the funnel? Is it conversions? There are some that want to use influencers and creator economy, social media in general, for lower funnel activities. I want more purchases. I want to go viral to drive more sales and whatnot. Or is it engagement? Just saying, hey, I want to build a community online, right? Powered by an ambassador groups or whatnot. So understanding first, what are the goals? What are the KPIs? What are you trying to get out of it is key. Then we go through understanding exactly what their audience is, what we're trying to achieve, and all of it. And we will then build a custom proposal if they don't have a strong preference on services, with the services that are going to go towards achieving those goals. Another thing is that a lot of clients are very, very tiny. No matter, like, we work with also Fortune 100 companies, and you will be surprised how small those teams are. And so if something works, they are expected to scale these programs. And so how do you do it? We become an extension of their team. So we support our clients inside and out, both strategically, but also operationally. So long story short, is what we do. We then build a strategy that is unique to them, and then we start executing with all the different tools and whatnot. To give you an example of some campaigns that could be from top of the funnel, lower funnel, or engagement and community awareness. This usually happens when either a well-established brands launch a new product or feature, or there is a new product on the market, a new company on the market. The first one is, for example, supporting some of our larger brands. We do work with a lot of automotive companies, Omoda, Hyundai, BIT, you name it. For Hyundai, for instance, what we do is that every other year or so they launch a new type of car, and so far the experience is to create a event where both media but also creators are invited from all around the world, right? We had one in Santa Fe, another one in LA, very beautiful places where the car is the main protagonist. But our job as an agency is to first understand exactly what the car is, what the vertical is. And you might think it's just automotive creators. No, there might be some cars that are more towards the travel side of things. And so all of a sudden, the travel ones. And then everyone has a car. So even lifestyle creators that could fit into that might get the cut. Our job is to first find the best of the best creators into those verticals. And by best, we mean not just size. Another big misconception is that the bigger the creator, the better. You will be surprised. You need to dig into their audience, their demographic. Who are these people talking to? And is the ultimate audience the one we want to reach? The other thing that we take into account is pricing. Again, it's a wild west. There is no set rule. But for old people like me in the industry, we go by CPM benchmarks and engagement rates and all the things that are like, okay, like fine. A small creator could be actually more expensive than the medium-sized creators if those metrics stand. So as an agency as well, on behalf of our clients, it's our job to then understand how their pricing is compared to their power in reaching the different metrics. And so finding and building that roster of the best group of creators we can provide our clients is pivotal in what we do, and comes right after the strategy. And then we help with all the logistics, all the information, all the creatives. Now you have the talents, what they need to talk about, right? And how we can ensure we stand out from the crowd, because every one of us nowadays is bombarded by these creators and these influencers talking about buy this, do that, and whatnot. So how can we have something that provides value, whether it's entertainment, infotainment, informational things, or did you know that, to stand out from the crowd? And so once we have the group, we need to start working on, okay, what's the content that we want to achieve? While keeping, and that's a critical part, the authenticity of creators. Sure, you're young enough to go on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and it's very, very apparent when an influencer is promoting a product versus their normal content. It's fine, because we still provide value. Users and normal people are not against influencers getting and earning their bread and paying their bills thanks to sponsor posts. But first, they need to understand first, there is a fit, right? A financial creator that starts talking about something else, unless it's part of their life, it wouldn't make the cut. While instead it's like, hey guys, as you know, I've been talking about this for a lot of time, and now I have the opportunity to partner with, brand name, then all of a sudden it clicks, it makes sense. And also the authenticity of the creator, right? We always ask creators to work with us in coming up with the idea and the concept that resonate with their own feed, community, and while ensuring that, of course, the brand messages come along, because we want to ensure that our brands are also happy. So the whole creative side is there. So for the case studies, in this case, for top level awareness, like we ensure that if you're a like specific automotive creator, you may be focused more on the technical part of the car compared to maybe others on the market. If you're more lifestyle, on the comfort or new features that might be innovative. If you're instead a travel ones, we might lend you the car for a week. Go have a trip with the car and report back, right? So we ensure that the storylines stand and hold truth to the influencer operations. And then they post, and the best and most important part starts, which is monitoring data and understanding exactly what the investment of the brand turn into, returns of the brand, whatever them. And so we analyze as an agency everything humanly possible. As an agency, we're actually pretty good and superior compared to others, because we have, pixels integrations. We build also different tools that allow us to go and check the lowest of funnel we can humanly have, and then showcase and report clients a sort of summary of key findings. We launched this, we start with assumptions, right? Based on data, because we're large, we've been doing this for a minute, but you will find that every client is unique. So this is what we've seen, this is what happened, and the recommendations. If we were to do it again, based on this data, these returns, these are our recommendations on what to move forward. So this is in a summary how it works, and an example for top level awareness. On the low side of funnel, like imagine just TikTok Shop. Right now, we do have a lot of our clients on TikTok Shop, where literally you work with affiliates that get a commission. I always say the media buy needs to be included, and we've seen how returns skyrocket when you combine also the paid media side of things. But that's where you literally have affiliates promoting products. People buy in-app with 2 clicks, and us as an agency and our clients can see literally on their seller dashboards how much revenues we're making, right? Are we having a 3x, a 5x, a 20x, a 40x, a 200x, right? And so this is how influencers can literally make an impact on your business. As an agency, just to summarize it, best practices is always to have either me or one of my colleagues, depending on where you are in the geography and whatnot, hop on a call. Let's figure it out. We would be extremely transparent, because we want success, not just clients. For other agencies, the amount of partnerships we do with agencies that come from different world of the digital market, performance and whatnot, PR, they need a little bit of a hand. We partner up with them, either in white label capacity or a disclosed partnership to help their companies and brands as well.
That's awesome, Nicola. Thank you for taking us through that. That was a ton of information. I think everyone's going to have to pause the podcast now and re-listen to that to make sure they can understand it. But no, that was amazing. Showing kind of a full effect on why it's important, what is important about it, and how they can truly, these brands and clients can truly optimize what they're doing with influencer marketing. So thank you for taking us through that. And it cleared up a lot for maybe if someone didn't know what influencer marketing was as well. So thank you for that. I mean, it is a huge impact right now, right? Like we had a lot of, look at COVID. Everyone was inside making content, becoming an influencer, because that's when TikTok blew up, that we had nothing else to do. And we had these great people, these great brands, I guess you can call them now, start creating. And why not leverage their success for your success and grow together, right? So, it's amazing. It's an amazing feature. And it's just another side of marketing that, we don't hear a lot about, like we said at the beginning, but I appreciate you speaking about that. And data is one of the most important things. Like you guys have been in this for 8 years. So you guys have seen, for example, like you said, what works, what doesn't, and recommend maybe what to do versus what not to do. But really coming down to hearing the brand message and feeling what resonates with the brand and the influencer themselves to make sure they're comfortable portraying that content. And I feel like that's super important. And I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication sometimes with influencer marketing. They want to do something else where, and finding the right person. Like you said, automotive, you can go so many directions because it's a massive industry, especially if you look at vehicles, but niching it down and really looking at their specific, their client base or their listener base. So amazing. Now I want to dive into the industry today because I want to do marketing as a whole, if that's okay. the marketing industry today, because we are all trying to navigate this crazy landscape with AI. There's so many agencies. The market is very flooded, right? So, you mentioned at the beginning there that you guys have people coming to you guys, referring you guys every single day, which is really amazing in this market today. So, what are some of the biggest trends or shifts that you're seeing in this marketing industry today?
That's a great question. So first, where people find us and companies and whatnot. Up until a few months ago, it was literally Google, like top influencer marketing agencies, and then we would pop up everywhere. Now it's also ChatGPT. A lot of clients are like, hey, I just asked the same question there. So that's already an evolution in ensuring that, you have your SEO techniques in place. We're very lucky to have a very, very good tech team and marketing team that allow us to be blessed and not have to go and chase clients, but clients literally come to us. The other changes are more day-to-days, as mentioned. A lot of marketers, whether they are part of the brand or other agencies, now know a little bit more about it. And I'm very, very happy about it. Imagine the first few years when I started, and we're talking a little bit of years ago, even before the Influencer Marketing Factory or IMF, I did influencer and influencer marketing, and it wasn't sales or it wasn't strategy. It was literally education, the ABC of what needs to. Right now, it's very unlikely that no one knows what influencers are. They might not be technical or very into the weeds on how it works, but at least they understand, first of all, the value, which makes my life, as mentioned, so much easier. And secondly, they have at least a basic foundation on what that looks like. So this is already changing, but with that, us and everyone else, then, okay, you need to deliver, right? Now you are talking to someone that knows what's good, what's not so great, and what not. And so the pressure is slightly different. Not that like we deliver, so we're not scared, but you know what I mean? Like also the intel, the capillarity of data and comparison and whatnot, it's way more prominent nowadays than it was even a couple of 2 or 3 years ago. Back then, what we did, because we always try to, I used to have 3 lifetime ago in another jobs, a boss of mine to tell me like, you cannot see what something is successful unless you measure it, right? And again, this stick to me. And so that was the first rule. Guys, we need to measure everything we do, and, have benchmarks, have comparisons, and understand what are the goals we need to achieve. And that's what we are doing right now, but the capillarity of requests and way to dissect and slice those numbers is becoming way more important, even more so because budgets are increasing. I can tell you, when TikTok started in 2020, you mentioned COVID. COVID was the most terrible, time for humanity for sure. But for us, we grew 2,400% year over year.
Wow.
Thanks to TikTok, as you said, we were one of the first agencies. Literally 1 week after Musical.ly became TikTok, I had a clientele ask us to launch a campaign there. But also COVID, everyone was home, so budgets would shift. And since then, now the budgets that we're talking about in the campaigns and all of it, which are being taken from more traditional marketing, so whether that is programmatic or billboards or TV, like you name it, and are shifting more in the digital world and therefore impacting us positively, are way bigger. And so they need to substantiate or justify that marketing manager in brand the fact on why you're moving $500,000 from one bucket of activities to this bucket of activities. The attention there is way higher than before. And so as an agency, it's our goal to ensure that we're very thorough in showing them the results, and also results that are easy to compare apple to other things. That's why we use standardized metrics like CPM, click-through rate, cost per click, cost per install, like anything that transported and compared to whatever other channel that the client is doing are easy to do that. So these are the 2 major things. The third thing is, of course, there is a lot of noise also in terms of creators. And so we're seeing a little bit more. Imagine when you have many options on right? And you're like, oh my God, like I like 25 things. And so that's the same with influencer marketing. Right now, there are so many options out there that a brand is like, oh my God, like what if I make the wrong choice? Like I have hundreds of potential creators I can book right now. And so guiding them on ensuring that picks get done, and not having a FOMO on missing out on some good candidates, it's another thing I'm seeing. And then the pace is very, very fast. So you have way more structure that you need to have in place, but we need to then look authentic and natural and all of it while running. That's another thing that is changing a lot. For the rest, I mean, this is all positives. Again, more money, more campaigns, higher standards. And as an agency, you just need to pick up the slack and be innovative all the time and ensuring that you're putting the best work out on behalf of your clients.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, those are great points. And I feel like the most important part that you brought up was data, right? Like if you can track and prove that you have metrics that work, people are going to trust you a lot more. And that's a huge aspect in this world today is trust between client and agency because I mean, there's so many companies, there's so many agencies out there to pick from. And like you said, so many influencers you can pick from as well, where if they can trust you, Nicola, to go out and pick an influencer that is really, if you can show them data that this influencer is really going to help them out because of this specific offer, this specific program, or for example, piece of clothing that they're trying to sell, and you guys have that data to back it up, they're going to trust you a lot more and want to work with you guys and continue moving forward. So, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, and now with AI, it makes it a lot easier to track a lot of this data. But I mean, at the same time, some data is really hard to track it as well. So with AI being such an amazing tool that we all need to leverage because, I mean, it is free and we might as well use it because it's enhancing work and making efficiencies way easier or operations way faster and way more efficient. How are you guys leveraging this tool to really boost yourselves within the influencer marketing factory?
That's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind is when we source creators. And I mean for specific niche campaigns. An example could be a skincare brand with an offering for someone with a lot of acne or whatever skin issues people might have. Of course, creators do not put in the bio, hey, I have a lot of acne, right? Acne influencers, they do not exist. Or sometimes we need a pregnant lady with, based in certain geographies with blue hair and green eyes. You will be surprised what are some of the niches that we need to do. So in those instances, it's very hard for us. And we have a huge database. Imagine in the agency, we have tens of thousands of creators from very tiny to the biggest celebrity you can think of. And, we have a filter, but filters are mostly like geography, style, engagement rate, size. And then we can search for keywords for, whatever the influencer put in bio. But again, in these instances, for example, the acne, no one will put it. So how can we find, not manually and more efficiently, these creators? So there is post recognition AI capabilities. So we just pop in let's look for pieces with acne on profiles. They're at least this size with this engagement rate and all of it. And all of a sudden, AI turned manual work that would take a good full day, of course, depends on the size of the campaign, on a campaign manager, into something that might take just a couple of hours, right? Because AI help us to filter down the options. And then, of course, it's our job to manually vet everything we do and to then go a little bit further, but it's a solid baseline, a quick one for us to go by and then refining it. The other thing that we're doing is that we're very proud to build a lot of tools in-house at IMF. Like we do have dynamic reporting. We do have a lot of mini tools to compare clients with competitors, or imagine sometimes there is clients would like to see previous partnership of an influencer with other brands. You could do it manually, scroll down and do it, or we're able to track sponsor posts with, FTC compliant disclosing like hashtag ad, partner, sponsor, and all of it. So it helps in being more efficient, faster in what we're doing, and give us a solid baseline. What I always been, and I might be seen as a boomer, up until now though, you cannot go by just with AI. Ultimately, our industry specifically is a people business. Influencers are people. Brands and companies still, they have a person you're talking to, and we are too. So it's a human dynamic. AI, tech, and whatnot can help you out. But you always need to have the thought leader, someone that can look at those data, those numbers, those information, and come out with something that makes sense and is meaningful to you. You need to be able to hop on a call and discuss it and brainstorming and whatnot. So AI is great to optimize and ensuring that you grow as a company. You don't necessarily grow at the same rate when it comes to headcount. And you can ensure that some key tasks get executed way faster. but it would not substitute the brains that make an agency, right? Necessarily. So that's my bet on AI. Useful, but up until now, and I wish the moment where I could go and retire on an island because my avatar is doing everything for me. But until that happens, unfortunately, we're very much needed still.
Yes, for sure. I feel like that's a landscape that, I mean, everyone doesn't know where AI is going to take us, but especially that influencer side. In my opinion, people still like dealing with people, just like you said earlier, Nicola. And I don't think, I mean, we're going to see a big flux of AI creators and AI influencers when they get dropped and when everyone starts using them. But I think people are still going to navigate back to that person to person feel and actually be able to go somewhere and maybe see someone walking down the street and it's going to resonate with someone a lot more to be able to actually go visit that person or see them walking down the street and be like, oh my God, that's that influencer. Or it's a lot more relatable seeing that person and connecting with them on a deeper level where, I mean, AI, I feel like it's just going to be very surface level. So that's my opinion
If
on
you
that.
want to go on the website we publish a lot of studies every year.
Mm-hmm.
There are actually 1 or 2 ebooks about virtual influencers or
Okay,
AI
cool.
influencers. Like right now AI, but if you think about the first virtual influencers have been starting, popping up 2-3 years ago, and we surveyed users and people saying the difference, right? And imagine this is all fake. So I personally, if I have my favorite female creator telling me, listen, this face for your cream is amazing. Like, look at this. And it's a person that always give me advice that makes sense, but also is a real person, is someone relatable to me. It's not necessarily aspirational. It's someone that could be a friend of mine. And that's what a lot of followers think about these influencers, that they could hang out for a beer, for a coffee, for something, but they don't know it. But they trust the fact that this is a human trying it. If you see an AI video, that's, to me, content. It could be beautiful content. It could be a brand that does something that is wow, in terms of, wow, I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
But where is the authenticity, right, of the human being? So AI is very useful on the day-to-day operations, on the brand side, how to get stuff done. When it comes to influencers, great for entertainment and content and saving a lot of production costs, don't get me wrong. But the authenticity is still relying on to the creator and the way that he or she communicates with their community.
No, that's great. And I want to ask you this question, Nicola, because I feel like there's a lot of misconception maybe with influencer marketing or marketing in general right now. There's a lot of companies at intersections. They don't know. I mean, they get email blasts all day. They get LinkedIn content all day saying, oh, this is the best. This is the best. They see influencers posting stuff saying this is the best. They see all this SEO and GEO stuff now. Like, I mean, if you are a company that is just looking to scale your customer acquisition or scale your marketing in general, I mean, I feel like your opinion is going to be lean towards what you guys do. But in your opinion right now, how do these companies, I mean, obviously it also depends what they're doing and who they are, but in this crazy landscape right now, how can people try to navigate it in the right direction for their company, for getting their company the best results and hitting their goals that they're really looking for?
That's another good question, and you will be surprised. We say no sometimes to companies because, again, first, I like to think that we are ethical salespeople, right? But secondly, to me, and again, I handle mostly either enterprise clients or clients that I see a high potential, like in the company, like, I might get on a call with a small budget, but if I see that, I'm pretty sure we can scale you very, very fast. But in general, the thing that I was trying to say is that first of all, we don't care about one-offs as an agency. I don't want to take your 20, 30 grand and have you not happy 5 weeks down the line and me having you to spend an hour with you on the phone. So during that famous discovery call that we mentioned a few questions ago, if I feel like first, whether you're not a good fit, in general for influencers, like you, and again, I've been a marketer. Like, of course, influencer marketing has been shaping my last decade, but before that, I've been in marketing since I started working. So then I turned into the dark sides of sales. But I can pick up very, very easily whether influencers work for you or no. There are different ways, and I will tell you gladly, saying, "Hey, have you considered doing this?" Because I want our clients to succeed, stick with us until, we grow old and whatnot. The second thing is I don't want new clients to enter with fear. So imagine sometimes it's like, maybe solo entrepreneurs or smaller marketers, smaller brands, startups, you name it. They're like, oh my God, like I'm risking all my budget. I hope it works. Then it's when I'm like, you might not be ready yet. And I don't want to be, or it might be more convenient for you to do it by yourself with the right education rather than an agency like us. Just because in our world, you need to have a minimum of volume to make things work. If not, you end up having, unfortunately, poor influencers. And yes, out of 1,000, I can tell you, there might be 10 that are very, very good. There might be hundreds that are decent and deliver. But there will always be someone that might have the following because they were famous during COVID on TikTok, but then no one watches them any longer, right? And so that's why sometimes we need an agency to filter from the crowd and then see what's valuable and what's not. But in general, as a marketer that wants to optimize it, first understand where is your audience, whether it's your potential customers, users, and whatnot. Where are they, and what type of media or what type of marketing channels they will get mixed with. For instance, is it digital in general? First of all, something. Of course, 99.9% of business out there now have a digital media buy strategy, as they should. But then there are others that is like hyper localized or very old school or anything where maybe paper flyers could make the trick. Who knows? Or SMS and text and what. So the first thing understanding is where is your customer residing and how they are impacted with whatever activity. So that's already take out some things and focus on others. The second one is, okay, let's say digital. Digital, you can do something a lot. You can do SEO, SEM, social media, influencers, performance, programmatic, out of home, like you name it, and you got it. So, but every service has a sort, as mentioned, minimum sort of investment, both in terms of time, lead time too. There are some activities that you can see results right away. There are others that you need to build little by little. And eventually, like SEO, it's not overnight. Even more so if you're in a highly competitive industry, like you need to fight for it. I'm sure with your podcast too, right? You start a podcast and then you need to grow it. How you do it? There are things that might help, sponsoring that, putting money into it, and off you go. There are others that you're building and it will take months, if not years, to come to fruition. And so understanding how much time you have to achieve those goals. It could be your runway, it could be your time, it could be a deadline that your boss gave you and whatnot. And then, yes, the beautiful thing is that any demo out there and any discovery call is free of charge, no strings attached, no, you're not committing to anything. And so go and talk to people that know about that and understand, ask all the questions you need to ask. And then at the end of it, understand, is it good for me or not? And evaluate it. But again, I can tell you, social media, 80% of the brands can see it. Because we talk about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There is also LinkedIn. There are blogs. There are affiliates. There is a whole world of things. But sometimes it might not work. So you as a marketer would need to evaluate different criteria, including audience, budget, time frame, and readiness, and then decide what to do, test it out with a pilot. And if it works, to just doubling down and scale and repeat.
Yeah, for sure. A couple things that really stood out to me when you were talking there, Nicola, and that was number one, when you said you sometimes turn away companies and it's for their best purpose, right? I mean, not everyone's a perfect match.
Yes.
Not everyone's a perfect match for a certain campaign, or they're not in the right mindset for it, like you said as well. And that's huge. If they don't believe that this is going to get them result, or they're in fear, it's not going to drive the results that they're looking for. I mean, with any campaign in general, if they're putting their last budgets into it, sometimes it can take up to 12 months to really see results happening within a certain marketing silo, like you mentioned, right? So marketing is a long-term process, and it can be short-term if you get lucky, but it still has to have that belief behind it. And that's one of the most important things. Is I feel like a lot of companies, they don't believe marketing works, and they don't want to step into marketing again because they don't believe it works. And when they do try it again, it doesn't work because they don't believe it's going to work. So it's a bad cycle that a lot of companies get in their head when marketing doesn't work, and they stick to their campaigns in the newspaper, on the radio. But I feel like that's a huge educational gap that needs to be filled as well, is because people think it's an overnight success, where in reality, even with influencer marketing, it can take a while to see the results that you're looking for, and eventually they're going to happen. At some point, there's a big breakthrough once you start believing enough that it will happen, and it will continue on. And that's marketing 101, right? Like, it takes a long time to build up credibility, takes a long time to build up unique.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No,
Imagine
that's
that
okay.
also algorithm. I want to go viral, right?
Yeah.
Make me viral. If I have 10 influencers, there is a chance that these videos will perform, but nothing will go viral. But what if
Yeah.
we have 1,000 influencers? So all of a sudden, oh my odds, like it's impossible that content will not go viral with that volume.
Hmm.
So also understand that's why I'm saying minimal budgets. It's not me that being greedy.
Yeah.
I always say the minimal budget is this. Give me what makes you comfortable. And let's see if we can meet in between. Because as you said, I don't want them to start by fear, but I don't even want to drain them until I prove them the value.
Yeah.
But the more you try, the more things will happen, right? And again, I am very, very transparent, and my team is as well, saying out of 10, 5 will not work for you. It will be great content, great asset, awareness, and all of it. 3 will be decent, and then you will have 2 champions. That's usually the ratio. Be prepared for that, because what we want to avoid at all costs is the first influencers go live, and maybe it's a little bit slower, right, to pick up. And already we receive an email saying this is not working. Let's hop on a call. It's like, don't panic. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, give time to everyone to accomplish their results.
Yeah. No, it's a big aspect. I mean, people want money now at the end of the day. A lot of companies do, a lot of people do, but they don't understand marketing and they don't understand sales. They don't understand the full funnel effect, right? So, I mean, like I saw an Instagram post this morning where it was Alex Ramosi and he was in a room doing a presentation. He's like, how many people heard of me 2 years ago? And about 3/4 of the room put their hand up, and now they bought into Alex Ramosi's course because they heard of him 3 years ago because maybe it wasn't the right time or etc. So it doesn't mean you're making an impact today, because it might make an impact in the future on the people that are seeing that content today, or are seeing that your email today, or are seeing your LinkedIn content today. It all depends, right? So it's a long-term game, and just trust the process and believe in it,
And
and
if we
eventually it'll
want to
work out.
go, sorry to
No,
we
that's
want
okay.
to go full philosophical, it's just because we are used to you buy something on Amazon Prime and next day it shows up on your door. But guys, let's remember how vegetables grow up. I know, like
Yeah.
you need to put the seeds, put the water, wait
Yep.
6 months, and then it will. Same with marketing sometimes, and it is what it is, and we need to all to stay, look, and wait, and be ready to pivot and be like, I'm not telling you that what we will say and what we do always work. We monitor, we see, and we know as an agency when is the right time to act. Well, sometimes it's the right time to just watch and see how things develop.
Amazing. Nikla, looking ahead for the Influencer Marketing Factory, what are some of the goals of the C-suites above you? Where do they want to take the company? What's the vision behind the company?
Well, so right now in our space specifically, there is a lot of consolidation. I'm not sure how much you know about it, but imagine 10 to 15 years ago, it was a bunch of us straight out of college building these startups. And that's about it. And now we're all corporate, which is great. But long story short, there are just a lot of our competitors that got acquired from the WPP of the world and whatnot. It's great because it's integrated marketing, but I truly believe as IMF, like what we do, like even if some companies have had experiences in influencer marketing, either by themselves or with another agency, and then they come work with us, the level of care, the level of strategy, the level of operations, the level of data, we're very hands-on, and we really know, like, and it's not just me. I'm blessed to work with geniuses, right? People that are able to accomplish things and make my life so much easier, because you might have the brain, but then you need to have someone that can do it happen. So the goal is to sometimes though we are penalized because, we're still not part of those large groups. And so imagine a huge company is like, it's safer to go to the other ones, right? And when they try and give us a shot, we deliver. And so long story short, we just want to become better and better on what we do, being able to onboard even more companies and clients and show them how these channels can help them into their everyday life. We want to always be innovative. Another thing that keeps us always there and on top of mind is that we know what's about to come in the next 6 to 12 months. We work with YouTube, Google, TikTok, and ByteDance, Meta, and Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp for Business, you name it. We do know their features. We try to development. We are accepted in beta testing. So always be innovative and understand this industry evolves so fast. And again, I'm aging, so I'm sometimes like it takes me a minute to catch up, but so fast that this is a prerogative. But it is just to keep doing what we're doing, always be at the storefront of innovation, always cater with utmost quality and respect the campaigns that we're doing with our clients. And it's a fun job. Like we are able to do so many things out of the box that when I started doing marketing 20 years ago is something that you would dream of. And now everyone can. So that's the goal.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Speaking about that goal and growing as an agency as and getting the results that you're looking for your client. I mean, you said that you guys get referrals every day. So if you guys really wanted to take that up a notch and continue growth and continue servicing the best clients you guys could, how would you guys go about scaling your customer acquisition to get the best clients and get more clients to work with in the agency
For
world?
us, yeah. For us, it's mostly resources. Right now, our huge sales team, like literally people with a title that has a commercial side of things, we are 4 in the company. Then we, of course, have the creative team and the strategy team that help us out, but literally sales. And 2 of us, we also, once we onboard the clients, that's the best part. Like, I hate to sell the dream. And then, you talk to a perfect salesperson and then you sign and you get like allocated to a team that doesn't get you as much as the other one. No, we're responsible. So whatever lead I take and I pitch to, I will be involved and I will be there, very hands-on. And, you can ask all the clients that I support. Same with the other senior person. So all of this to say, it's very easy. We need to say no to so many because we don't have the bandwidth. We also are one of those agencies, and you can go and look at Glassdoor, right? Not one of those revolving door agencies. Like, of course, we work hard and, it's agency life. So you know what you sign up for, but always human, always decent. So isn't also unfair to overwork too much your people if you want them to stick with you. So it's just a matter of how fast we want to grow and how big. We have been growing consistently every single year since we started, but always with a mindset of we don't want to become from a 70 people agency to a 500 people agency overnight without the right infrastructure. Because if not, we've seen so many times this nightmare. Like you might have a very short-term gain, but the legacy and the way that things progress is not going to be up. So that's literally what is holding us back.
That's amazing. That's awesome. That's super exciting. I love how you're still on that foundational phase because it is so important to create the foundation. And that's what a lot gets skipped. And then stuff gets missed and then customers aren't happy. And it's just a full snowball effect into the wrong direction. So
yes,
that is amazing. Now, for young marketers or entrepreneurs wanting to get started in this marketing industry today, what's some of the best advice you have for them to take their first steps, whether it be an entrepreneur or a marketer?
Number 1, be curious, read, be prepared, sign up on those newsletters, follow on LinkedIn people that you care about, go on website and read all their blog posts. Like, you need to learn. The beautiful thing when you start early 20s and whatnot is that your brain is very adept to learn and all of it to come out from your education and whatnot. Learn. Second thing, don't be shy. Ask for a coffee with the people that are already been there, done that. It can be 5 minutes. And, if everyone that maybe have a little bit of experience, I remember still when I was excited and all of it, like it makes a difference. Like to the person, it might not be a lot, but to you, it will be most probably extremely useful. The third thing, and I'm sorry, I know it's very non-Gen Z, it's just this is the time for you to learn, also practice. I do understand. And again, we come from an agency and you can see reviews and all of it where every person, no matter their age, their position, their seniority is respected. But when I was young, I was the first one entering the office and the last one to shut down. I was in every meeting. I was begging to give me work, can I learn this? Can I do that? You see what, ends up out of it. Like you don't have to do it, but if you want to achieve good things or, scale fast in your career, whatever that may be, just put in the effort. Ultimately, and you come to realize it the more you age, no one is special. Like, it's not the smartest person. There are geniuses, but you know what I mean? It's just being there, put in the effort, put in the sweat, have your goals clear. I already know where I want to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years. I knew when I was 10, when I was 5, when I was 15. So, and work hard to achieve it. And just be there, absorb as a sponge, and then put into practice without being too fearful. Sometimes people think about it for 3 years. I have this idea, but everything needs to be perfect. No, just do it. Things will work. Things will not work. You will learn a lot, and you will be out there just spinning up the process.
Amazing, amazing. I love what you said about having your goals, how you know where you're going to be in 5, 10, 15 years. And that is so important because a lot of people miss that. And they want
And
to
it's
have,
okay. And it's
yeah.
okay. Like, but if you want to achieve at a corporate level great things, you need to know what those things are and
Hmm.
be honest with yourself on how long it will take you to achieve those.
Yeah. Because if you can write something, or not even write it down, but if you have something in your head where you're going to accomplish this by this day, and you take every step every single day to accomplish that goal, you're no doubt going to accomplish it. Where if you just kind of put deadlines and you don't actually work towards them, and you're just kind of going with the flow, you're never going to achieve that. So I love what you said there, Nikla. That's super important in my life. I mean, I'm only 21, but I've written down goals. I know where I want to be at certain dates, and I've been driving towards that every single day. And it makes a big difference. It makes you more ambitious, more driven when you wake up and get out of bed because you know exactly where you're going and what you need to do by the end of the day to achieve that goal.
And another thing is don't discourage yourself too much. There will be bad days. There will be bad moments. There will be
Mm-hmm.
moments where you second guess everything you do and you're like, what's the point? And nothing goes right. The beautiful thing about marketing, and even more so, the beautiful thing about marketing and agencies is that every hour is different. I could have been happy this morning because I closed a very good account. I could be pissed after 2 hours because we have an emergency over there, and I could be destroyed by the end of the day. It's fine. Just keep going, being resilient. Even more so if you're young, you don't have kids, you don't have, other things to just put 100% of your focus effort no matter what's going on, because ultimately that's what makes 99% of those success stories you see out there success stories. If all of them would have quit, they would not be there overcoming their issues.
Exactly. Exactly. Nikla, where can people find you if they want to speak with you and learn a little bit more about the
I'm not
Influencer
sure if you're
Marketing
going to leave
Factory?
the little here thing of with the accounts, but of course, like
You can, yeah.
on our website for our agency, the influencermarketingfactory.com, and then LinkedIn if you want to connect, my first and last name, Nikla Bartoli, or, wherever you want. But yes, if you're interested in discussing a little bit more, these are mainly the two channels.
Amazing. Awesome. Nikla, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience. And it's been truly a pleasure. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.